I'm glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV, 15 after 8, and time now to take note of building a purposeful career in financial services. I'll be introducing my guests very shortly, but our first preamble in the discussion will be exploring how to build a meaningful and lasting career in the financial services sector. We're joined here by the Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, and with us Dr. Mary Kansiime Nyende. She is the Director of Professional Development at the Institute, as well as Ronald Mugwanya, the Manager Training and Partnerships. Many thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, on Morning at NTV.
Thank you, Chris.
Great. Financial services sector, meaningful and lasting career. That's a very interesting thing to talk about. It's not a case of let me get in, work for 1 year, and I be out. It's supposed to be lasting and meaningful. Let me begin with Dr. Mary Kansiime on this aspect of meaningful and lasting. I emphasize those two words because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Tell us about how meaningful and lasting a career ought to be.
Okay.
But first, about the Institute.
All right. Thank you, Chris. A very good morning, our esteemed viewers. Thank you for the introduction. First, about the Institute. The Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, formerly the Uganda Bankers Institute, is the leading provider of training for the banking and finance sector. So we started out in 1967, first as a local center for the chartered institute that was in Uganda, and later gained autonomy in 1990. So we are an organization limited by guarantee. We are a member organization, different member levels. We have the organizations themselves as members. We have fellows as members, associate fellows, ordinary fellows, students, who all get different benefits. So we are located at Plot 10, Buganda Road, just directly opposite the Buganda Road Court. The Governor Bank of Uganda is our patron.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so our mandate is to promote professionalism and financial inclusion through market-led trainings, research, and consultancy. So we are the trainers, basically, of bankers and other participants or members in the financial institutions. Okay.
Wow, that is a lovely sneak peek into what the Institute is all about. Now, about the sector itself and how meaningful a career ought to be in it. Take us through that very quickly before I go to Mr. Mugwanya.
Thank you very much. So, about meaningfulness and how meaningful a career ought to be. So, I will say something. The banking industry has evolved significantly. And more than before, there's lots of opportunities coming from emerging areas of cybersecurity, areas of cloud, AI, ESG, digital banking, mention it, very many, risk management, institutional banking. So with all these opportunities, calls for someone to have unique aspects, especially for skills development, for us to be able to grow. But I will say there's lots of partnerships that have happened in the banks, partnerships with MNOs, mobile network operation or operators, mobile money, insurance, fintechs, and all that they come with. The APIs that are being developed in the sector create a lot of opportunity. And what does this mean for us? This means that with skills development, when you continue to enhance yourself, there's more opportunities more than before.
That is right.
So it calls for someone to apply themselves, go out there, take courses, you know, go out there for mentorship, for coaching, so that you are better today. They say that success is where opportunity meets preparedness. So what I can advise is that we don't have to wait for the opportunity, but we can prepare ourselves for opportunity, for growth. And the other thing that I would like to mention is that many a times we look at growth as vertical. But taking an example of myself, you know, there is a lot of knowledge, wealth that you can get from also lateral growth. Go out there and look for opportunities, be it in different domains of the banking sector. It could be different units. So that amalgamation of information and knowledge creates a lot of, you know, growth. More than just focusing on the vertical, so that the vertical finds you ready. So a meaningful career is such that you apply yourself. It starts with us to look out for the opportunities. Show up when adverts are put out there. Are you one of those people that goes out to, you know, to apply? Wow. Or do you just wait to be spotted?
I love the employee of the word show up. Many people fail to meet the opportunities because they didn't show up. And of course, that message is very poignant in light of the fact that today is International Labour Day. Allow me to go to Mr. Ronald Mugwanya. When you look at the banking sector, from my point of view, all I see is a giant machine. And with bankers at the core, these are literally the guys who oil the wheels of commerce in an economy. And training partnerships is pretty much important too. But when it comes to specific skill levels that ought to put a certain banker in another, say, advantageous position than another, what exactly do they look for beyond the knowledge about banking and going through accounts and paperwork and ensuring that the money is flowing in the economy in terms of credit?
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to all of us, and a happy Labour Day to all Ugandans and the world generally.
Thank you.
Skills beyond vocational. Traditionally, when people hear banking, what comes to mind is it's going to be number crunching and being in the books, doing the calculations and all of that. But taking it from the discussion of our director, the industry has evolved, roles have really evolved. You realize today that a lot of critical thinking is very instrumental in the kind of jobs that we do. A lot of collaborative thinking, you know, stepping out of the traditional role to be able to embrace everything that there is within your unit, within the organization, and also being interested in what other, you know, similar institutions are doing within the industry. But coming back to what we do as UIBFS and how we are trying to bridge that is making sure that we keep our ears on the ground. You know, benchmarking with sister institutions within the industry and also on the global scale. What's being, what is research informing? What does research communicate in terms of, you know, emerging skills? Today we talk about cyber and, you know, AI coming up. So it is important that the current banker, beyond being very good at the numbers and the, you know, the routine tasks, it's important that, you know, you also get acquainted with cyber-related skills. We increasingly hear things of big data, use of AI and the different related tools. So all of that is very critical, beyond being very good with, you know, being a very good person in credit, being very good in risk, but how are you embracing all these other areas, including key soft skills, emotional intelligence, very important, the ability to network and to be able to sell. All those are some of the things which are really critical in terms of skill beyond the vocationals.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Mary Kansiime, when we study and follow a report on banking sector, we see a lot of focus on star performance. I hear phrases within the banking sector, that one is a star performer. It means either he's bringing in a lot of money, sales, so to speak, sales. And there is always what I can describe as the tipping point where you must cease to be the star performer and transition into the leader in order to create more star performers. Now, many people might not readily want that particular role. They might want to stay star performers and not necessarily become leaders because of internal dynamics. At the Institute, are you building this kind of banker, or you're letting it upon themselves to figure themselves out, and then you provide that particular knowledge at the point where they need it most?
Okay, thank you, Chris. The one thing I will say is that banking today is significantly changing.
Okay.
I think star performance traditionally was very important because banking almost looked at profitability as the one measure for performance. Today we are talking about value banking. With new aspects like ESG, sustainability, we are looking at a shared value. How do I benefit while my client also benefits? We are looking at partnerships. How well am I able to create a partnership? And those are some of the measures of performance. So at the Institute, this is what we deliver. We look at growth not only through progression that way, performance, profitability, but growth in terms of both personal, institutional, but also beyond that, community, clientele. It's a whole stakeholder mapping, and how do we all benefit from this business? And that's the way to go. So in terms of Institute, it's delivering using case studies for people to pick exactly how it is being done elsewhere, especially in developed countries. Otherwise, you'll be left behind if you're only looking at targets, profitability. People need to balance between the targets and the passion. The targets and growth. The targets and family. That is another relationship that comes in.
Very important.
For me to look at myself as a performer or as an achiever, it's not going to be about just work, Otherwise, I'm going to lose everything else. The supportive system. So it's a whole 360, and that's what we encourage going forward. Yes.
All right, Mr. Ronald, what we see as the global financial sector is one that is intertwined and at best very complicated. Just over a few months ago, we saw some of those pitfalls when bankers at the central bank failed to detect fraud or misalignment. Somebody did something and they couldn't figure it out. Now, when it comes to meaningful banking or provision of this service, there is need to quickly provide the skill set for the banking sector to stave off these kind of occurrences. In your trainings and partnerships, what is the thrust for fraud and these kind of vices?
Chris, you are very well aware that tech is evolving much faster than the speed at which organizations may be able to address or adopt. While institutions all over the world like UIBFS are trying to come up with solutions to build the capacity of professionals within organizations to respond when crises like those happen, the hackers are thinking at a speed many times faster.
That's right.
Now, how do we respond as UIBFS? We are not just sitting back or as training institutions. Regularly and many times, I think this is our mainstay, We work with industry professionals within the industry, outside the industry, to anticipate challenges like those.
Yeah.
Because we know they happen. When they happen, we still work with the professionals who have managed to handle them, or who handle them, to draw cases. And we use these cases when we are crafting training programs. When we are training professionals. Ours is a case of executive training.
Yeah.
And teams brainstorm on this, so to be able to come up with responsive solutions which inform the kind of courses that we provide, but also, and most importantly, and over and above that, it takes us back to the element of industrial collaborations with seasoned professionals within the security services, within the IT areas, to craft these solutions which at least assist us in coming up with training programs which offer solutions that can at least be one step ahead of
the hackers and
the kind of challenges that we are being faced with.
Okay. Yeah. Gentlemen and lady, I'm out of time, but many thanks. Just one thing that Doctor should take us through. Who is eligible for the courses at the Institute? Is it a banker who has a certain experience, or one that could be coming out of, say, business school?
Okay, thank you very much. Everyone is eligible.
Including.
We have everything for even you, Chris. Customer service, presentation skills, etc. But what I can say, we have different categories of programs. We have programs under professional, and these include the chartered banker. It is a 3-level course. It has the professional banker, the executive banker, then the chartered banker, who is the highest. And then we have the academic courses, where you'd have a postgraduate diploma in agriculture and risk management. You'd have we have partnerships with Makerere University, and we're doing MAPS, that is Masters of Arts in financial services.
Okay.
So who is eligible? It could be someone that has a bachelor's degree, you may have a master's degree, you may have other professional accreditations. So depending on how you come in, it's either that we give you some exemptions, or that we start you at a particular level into other levels. So we have the short skills that take in everyone, and our courses are both tailored and open course. So you may apply for a course that you have seen, we have advertised and is happening, or you may request that we tailor a course for you. So we use both models. Okay,
thank you very much. Dr. Mary Kansiime Nyende, Director Professional Services at the Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services. Many thanks to you too. Ronald Mugwanya, Manager Training and Partnerships at the Institute. It's been a pleasure having your perspective on banking sector. Now,